Hey everybody. Any specific reason why I'm not doing streams on YouTube instead of on Twitch lately? None whatsoever. Something I feel like doing some on YouTube. Just kinda basically giving this thing some purpose, you know. Barely even use it, so. Plus, if it's a decent enough stream, I tend to leave it up then here, which is benefit over Twitch. Is it too loud? Let me see. Oh yeah, it is a bit on the louder side. Let me drop that a little. Damn. Nightbot's getting started early today. But yeah, what I said was I am I just basically sometimes stream here just to kinda get some use out of my YouTube channel. I barely even use the damn thing. Plus this way, like if it's a decent enough stream, I can leave it up and just have it be there. When on Twitch, you know, there's an expiration date. That's kind of true, yeah. Twitch is gonna take off the Prime subscriptions. Well, yeah, I suppose that makes sense for them. They need more money. That's not, you know, just a part of Prime perks. Right now, I am trying to work through this older piece where it's like I've complete it was one of the earliest illustrations I've done for my novel. But the problem is I made the characters look too old when at this point they're like 19, and so you know I have to kind of youthen them up because after these chapters there's a 5-year time skip. But at this point, they are not 24, so I have to kind of soften up the facial features and lighten things up and, you know, remove makeup that I drew for some reason. To this date, I don't know why. But, you know, that's the thing with art. Your best work of one day is your piece of shit for the next, you know? Yeah, Twitch has its, I don't know, I just use Twitch to watch other people play video games sometimes, you know? Well, more listen to, but... But yeah, for just art streaming, I don't know, it's not really all that good. It's not just lines on the face, it's also like tightening of muscle structures and bone structure definition and stuff like that. Like, general rule of thumb is, you know, softer features means younger, more harsher, edgier features is gonna kind of add age, you know. And that's just on like painted stuff. When you're drawing, when you're inking and stuff like that, there, you know, there it's the old rule of more lines, more years. I used to be like, that doesn't sound right. Then I tried it and I'm like, oh, never fucking mind. It's just, yeah, that's actually how it works on a comic page. Holy crap. Turns out people who've been doing comics for many years over and over again kind of know what they're saying, you know. So yeah, I learned that. One might say the hard way. Hey, Umi. Oh, nice. I play games, but I generally stick to currently 2 games, just Destiny 2 and Guild Wars 2. One of them kind of gets my, you know, team play first-person shooter itch scratched, and the other one just is basically, you know, an MMO that respects my invested time, which yeah, I can't really afford to deal with any other kind of MMO. How much time does it? Photorealistic page? I don't really do those. I just kind of do a stylish realism at times. But like I can do a page with like high level of rendering a day when I need to. But you know, there are days when I can do more. But I prefer not to, cause it's just. I don't want to overexert myself. I've been known to to overwork myself to the level where it's like, you know, my health takes a beating. So these days I tend to pace myself. Yeah, I like to be very productive without, you know, wrecking myself anymore. Yeah, I like Destiny too. Yeah, Kim Yoon-gi dying like that, just that was beyond tragic. And at such a young age. Yeah, he also died. I know who Montion was. I followed his work. I never watched Ruby, but I have followed his previous fan works and animations of Dead Fantasy and what was the other one? I forgot. It's been such a long time now. Aloy, thank you. But yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the thing with people who practice to the level of mastery that, you know, Kim Young-gi and similar people reach is this kind of stuff that it wears you out and you refuse to admit it because you like what you're doing. I know I'm not on that level, but I've done that to myself as well, where I would ignore my health and ignore my health and ignore my health, all for the sake of just, you know, improving and just a little bit more grinding, just a little bit more work, you know, and yeah, and then you collapse. Then you recover and you tell yourself, no, then I'm not gonna do this anymore now. I'm gonna do things smarter now, but you don't. Oh yeah, I use an old Photoshop. At least I get to own this one. I own CS2, CS3, and CS6. CS2 is the only one that where I still have the actual physical box and CD and everything nicely just packed. Just it was the first program that I actually bought with my own work. The process is way more intertwined. Like I often think through images, through like imagine full-on scenes. So I will often just sketch it out really quickly and just kind of write on that. So it's kind of like an intertwined process. Yeah, Sunstone is gonna have 20 volumes for the main story, and then if after that point it still retains some popularity and I have strength in me, I might do some one-off books that kinda explore some of the other characters' lives, and probably one of them is gonna be basically Ali and Lisa's married life, which is going to be basically just a straight up basically a sitcom, you know, just a romantic comedy about two idiots, you know, living together, married, and being fucking perverts. Oh, morning. Bless you. What's my favorite book of all time? Like, do you mean comic or like a book? If we're talking comics, I would say Death Note. If we're talking books, I would say Insomnia by Stephen King. Hey, Benji. Ah, the autumn is here. Your sciences. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, thing is, Photoshop really hasn't gotten too many like useful updates for artists past this point. Like, basically, the only advantage you have I found for myself in the later versions of Photoshop, like I have CS6, I predominantly use that one just to do large scale liquefies because it has a much stronger liquefy filter. But beyond that, I've never had anything in the new ones. Like, I subscribed to the newest version for like a year, and that subscription just ran out, and I barely even used it. I'm like, literally, there's nothing in this that's of any use to my process. So yeah, I'm still on my old shit. It's very clunky, yeah. Like, I tried using it. It works just as well, but it's like it works just as well with like 7 boxes of clutter on top. You know, it's like you just kind of have to constantly move stuff around just to get to the tools that you're actually trying to use. And yeah, I'm just like I can just use my whole Photoshop for that. Yeah, I'm used to picking color. I've been using CS3 for like, Jesus Christ, like 18 years plus. Must be that much at this point, yeah. Oh yeah, I often find myself making changes to art and to dialogue. If I get a better idea, you know, I'll bite that bullet. I'll change the thing. Man, the values are terrible on her. Oh my god, she's blooming out. That's fine. Gonna tweak it all now. This old bloom won't work anymore. Thank you, Yagrain. Alright. So right now, I'm just trying to gain some control over the values before I get into the actual rendering. For that, I need to do things in broad strokes. Her face. Her odd face. First things first. Let's see. Yeah. It's only on Patreon, but the first 15 chapters, which is all that's been published on Patreon so far, is actually free to read. It's the only public post on Patreon, so you can actually pick it up there. We basically, the idea is once I finish the first book, I'm gonna actually do a crowdfunder for it, where I'm gonna do this crazy thing where I have this idea of making like a really lovely, luxurious kind of book where it's like the starting thing is gonna have like 20 full color illustrations in it, and then every tier that we reach, whatever they're called, I'm not really that good at crowdfunding yet. The idea is we're gonna be adding 5 more illustrations. So it's like by the end we're gonna get like hopefully something like with like 70 illustrations in it and like hardcover, and it's a fun thing. I don't know. I'm a sucker for richly illustrated books. I always have been. So yeah. I guess that's why I make comics also. Yeah, we were gonna go to New York City Comic Con, but we're just we're not overly keen to be messing with COVID just yet, I had it once and it was bad, like really fucking bad, and so now unfortunately I'm a little skittish. So here's the thing. I was a writer since my younger age. I loved writing, but I lacked the confidence to finish any of my stories. Nowadays, of course, that's not the case. Nowadays, I can just write until I'm done. But the thing is, like, it wasn't easy because when you're self-taught, you kind of have to do the hardest thing, that is learn from your own mistakes. For instance, my first writing attempt was professionally was with my graphic novel series Ravine, and Ravine was an epic fantasy, right? Now the problem with Ravine was I turned the whole goddamn thing into a D&D manual, as in everything was so over-explained and so convoluted. No, not convoluted. So just like I spent more time in book 1 explaining the lore and world building than I did getting characters to do stuff. Now, by the time I got to book 2, I got vastly better at it. Like, I actually figured out, oh, yeah, of course, storytelling, characters, narrative, moving from point A to point B, doing stuff. But by that point, it was too late. The book had financially tanked to the point where it was unrecoverable. But I learned a lesson from it. You know, I learned not to bury things in minutia without, you know, getting people to give a shit about characters. Because that's the thing. If you do good character work, your audience is more likely going to want to follow those characters through whatever the fuck story you're taking them through, you know. I didn't get that much back then, and so unfortunately, you know, I used to call it, I went midi-chlorians with it, as in I over-explained everything to a stupid degree where it's like nobody asked for it, but you know, there it was. Bless you. Is what also a story about two hot lesbians? The book? Very much so, yes, but there's more than two. But the funny part with the novel is this novel was started because I was trying to figure out a book that Lisa writes as her first published novel in Sunstone. Because through the course of the Mercy story arc, I actually have her talk about it. She actually has discussions. She actually speaks of the plot points in it, and like it's a nice little side element to the thing, because the whole point with Sunstone is these are people with their lives and other things beyond just a king. Like they're doing stuff, right? So in order to have Lisa write a novel, I had to figure out a good story for a novel. And when I figured out the story, I realized the story was actually fucking good, and then I was like, oh, I could write that. So I went and started doing just that, yeah. I mean, it's still clunky, this thing. Basically reworking, because this was basically one of the first two illustrations that I just kind of started just for the fun of it. But then, you know, then I started getting ideas. How much time do I dedicate doing backgrounds? Not too much. I have simple ways of kind of creating some illusions and stuff, you know. Most of it is just like faked details made through clever brush use. And you know, it helps that I know what I'm doing, so years and years of practice are kinda hard carrying here. No reason. Just wanted to do some streaming on YouTube. I don't really commit myself to streaming altogether, so it's not like I'm, building an audience on either one of these places. I'm just kind of chilling a little. This is my kind of relaxing times. Oh, nice lady. I hate it when I click upstairs and then it just minimizes Photoshop. Bless you. She just looks odd right now, but I'll fix that. But that's the problem. Like when I don't just paint from scratch again, but I'm fixing my old work. Like it's just there's a whole lot of stuff where I should just kind of just run it over with a fresh coat of paint and just start anew. But I saw this one. I was like, you know what? I can fix her. Like a protagonist in a romance book. How many monitors am I operating with? Two. Well, the tablet and the monitor. Right. I think this is in a place where it's like going somewhere, but I need fresh eyes. Okay, I don't need the old one. But yeah, this was the old one, and the problem with this one was they both look too old and like with makeup and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? But they were among the first things that I did just before even the story fully took shape, so I'll forgive myself that one. Versions. I'm not a fan of using too many layers. It just clutters everything up. Do I sell books with all these elaborate illustrations? Once the novel is done, that's the idea. Like the actual novel itself is gonna have the illustrations. Have I ever tried 3D? Yeah, of course. I've worked for a while in 3D Studio Max, but my primary 3D program would be ZBrush, just because it's a very artist's 3D program. You know, you just sit down and sculpt. Pick a spot and start rendering. I've started doing the same thing on these illustrations that I do with the 3D work. It's like opens it up and starts spinning, just does nothing productive to it, just observes. It's like, yes, this angle too, you know. And that's a very dangerous mindset to get into when you start spinning, because you just don't get any work done. When do I know the illustration is done? When I'm so fucking done with it that I can't even look at it anymore. Nah, it's when it kind of reaches a satisfying amount of finish everywhere, and has a good enough final look to it. Which was a better time working on Witchblade or Aphrodite 9? They both kind of had their ups and downs, so it's really hard to say. Like, there were really fun times with Witchblade, and there were really fun times with Aphrodite. Same was with a lot of the what's it called, Artifacts run also. That book had a lot of good times. Thank you, Karl. Do I feel like I could achieve more, or am I satisfied? I can always achieve more. Whether or not I will do it is a different thing, you know? We all have the potential to take things beyond. But, you know, there's a lot of factors whether or not we will truly reach that point. Yeah, Red Queens was a fun thing. Unfortunately, I had to stop that one very abruptly. I was gonna stay for an entire arc after my 2 fill-in issues. But unfortunately, my thyroid gland went to shit. And of course, can't even blame my thyroid gland because it's more of... I saw there were problems and I just decided to be a dude about it and just walk it off, you know? Turns out I couldn't walk it off and had a bit of a health crisis. What's my favorite anime? Bakuman. Bakuman or Death Note. Oddly enough, both from the same creators. It's the 2 animes that I've rewatched, I think, a dozen times each. In fact, I loved it to the level of actually putting Ali and Alan watching them in Sunstone Volume 7. Well, they're watching Death Note. Have you ever thought of doing 2D animation? Yeah, but then I realized it's really hard to do. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do animation for people who don't have the time to do animation or the patience. I'm gonna do comics. Same scenes, less panels. Can I tell you a cool Mark Silvestri story? Not really. I don't really know Mark that well. Like I've seen him a few times altogether just during conventions. And yeah, he's a great guy, but uh, haven't really, haven't really gotten enough time with him to get a cool Mark Sylvester story out of it. Yeah, animation is freaking hard. Uh, Hard to say. I don't know enough about that industry to really talk about it. But if it's anything like comics, artists who are passionate about something are kind of easy to exploit. Yeah, it's just one of those things, People who really want to make animations or people who really want to make comics, they will often work for pittance just to make a thing so that they can, proudly say, hey, look, I made a thing, I worked on this. Meanwhile, they can barely pay the bills. It's it's a strange line of work altogether. But yeah, like I said, it's not something that I'm in any way an expert on because never really worked in the animation industry and have no intention to. If I was to have a piece of mine made into 3D statue, which one would it be? I don't know. I'm making a whole lot. I'm making a bunch of them on my own. So once I have them finished and carved, I'm gonna get them printed. Oh, damn. Sorry, Nightbot is touchy. Yeah, spiritual manicure, you know, it'll get it done. Hey. Oh yeah, Linda. I changed my DeviantArt name. I know. I know. Alright, that's gonna be that for the streaming. Gonna get off and I don't know, probably gonna do some writing. Have a good one, everybody.